Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you are new here, hello, my name is Choua, and today I am going to be doing an update to my deck of panning and my No Pan Left Behind project. To start off is my Oh Snap lip liner by ColourPop, and I have used this 17 times since the last update, meaning I got 62 uses on this lip pencil total so far, and I am so incredibly proud of myself for continuously just little by little chipping away at this lip liner. I still thoroughly and very much love this lip liner as a main lip liner with all of the makeup looks that I have going on. This one really kind of cools down some of my lip looks that might be a little bit too warm, might lean a little bit too brown. And so sometimes I would use this as kind of like the first layer of my lip color and then go on top with a different color. And it really kind of just really changes the lip look to something that's a little bit more wearable and to my liking. So I really am hoping to continue working on this a little bit more, and hopefully, I don't know I'm gonna be able to finish this next month, but just be able to get a little bit more uses. It seems like on average I am getting between 16 to 29 uses on this lip liner on average in a month. So we'll see how that goes, because in May there's a lot of things going on in my life in May, and I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be reaching for this particular lip liner all too much in May, but I would love to, just because this color is very flattering and I can wear this on a more no makeup day and it still looks like I just have a really nice natural flush to the lips versus like a very sculpted, you know, lined kind of lip look. I forgot to mention, but the lip liner was rolled in for the King of Spades, which is in it for the long haul, and the goal is still to finish that lip liner. So I am still keeping that goal, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to reach it hopefully by June. Next is my About Face Loose Glitter in Nemesis. I rolled this in for the Queen of Spade, which is Mrs. Right Now, standing for excited to use, right now, seasonally appropriate, or perfect to fill a gap. And this one had a goal of 10 uses on it, and I was able to get my 10 uses on it. Last time I had 7 uses, so that meant I only needed to use it 3 more times to reach it, and I did just that. I reached it on April 7th, so very early on in the month of April. Very, very glad to be able to do it. But also, since I was trying really hard to get the uses out of this, I have really been loving the grungy looks a little bit these days. And when I do create grungy looks, it's kind of weird for me not to reach for this, you know, to really kind of just pop it on top. But anyways, I still thoroughly love this loose pigment. I will continue to keep it in my collection and use it. And I'm just so glad to finally have this rolled out. The next product is my Pacifica Cuticle Balm. This one was rolled in for the Jack of Spade, which is to represent another project, which is the yearly usage, 26 uses in 2026. And I have only been able to use this twice since the last update. So I was only able to use it 13 times. I was contemplating whether or not to keep this in the project because I have been so busy these days that I have not had time to really do any nail care, and I have used this a couple of times here and there when I'm like in a meeting or sitting in a training or a webinar. That way I can just not use my hands and let the cuticle balm do its thing. But lately I've been so busy with like meal prep, I've been sick, I've been trying to do all this and that to catch up with like the spring declutter, and we're moving soon and all of that. And so I've just been really, really busy, and I am just ready to roll this out. I'm not going to keep any products in any of my projects if I know I'm not going to be able to use it, and also if I'm not going to enjoy using it. So I'm going to actually roll this out, unfortunately, at 13 uses, but I at least was able to get half the uses So it's not something that I'm too ashamed of and too embarrassed about. I'm still gonna have this in my nail care collection and still be able to pull it out and use it whenever possible. But as of right now, it's just my nails are the least of my problems. I have been kind of picking at it because of anxiety and just the nervousness of everything going on in my life right now. But I am just gonna set my mind to just rolling it out and rolling something in to replace it. Next is the About Face Eye Paint in Tin Pan Alley. This one was rolled in for the 5 of Clubs Prompt Metallic, and my goal was to use this 5 times, and I did use this 5 times. This is a very, very beautiful eye paint. I really do like it, especially when I'm creating silvery, grungy looks. But the thing is that the applicator itself doesn't have a whole lot of pigment, so I have to use the back of the applicator, which isn't too bad, but at the same time, it's like every time I try to go in and scrape the product and see if it'll land on the applicator, it doesn't. So I might have to take the stopper out of this one eventually to be able to use it all up. But as of right now, it's rolling out since I was able to reach the goal for this. Next is my e.l.f. powder blush palette. This was rolled in for the 8 of Hearts, which is dethroned, meaning no longer my favorite or it's been replaced. And my goal was to use each of these shades 3 times, and I did exactly just that. This shade, I actually used it 4 times. Every other shade here, I used 3 times. And I actually still do like the shades in here, and I'm glad that I was able to get a little bit more use out of it. This one is kind of like a blush bronzer sort of shade, so I did use it for that, and it was actually very, very gorgeous. So this is probably one of these shades that I'll reach for if I'm like in a rush and I need a blush and a bronzer all in one. I will reach for this a little bit more, and then just be able to dip into the same palette and adding a little bit more of a blush to the cheeks. I think it's gonna be a really, really nice quad still, so I'm still gonna keep this in my collection. This is rolling out of this project, and I'm glad I was able to get some use out of every single of these shades. And lastly is my Farrah highlighter in Zara. This one was rolled in for the 6 of Hearts, which is highlight. So a highlighter, a lighter concealer, a powder for brightening, and this was rolled in with the goal of 10 uses, and I actually got 12 uses out of this highlighter, and it is still so super duper gorgeous. I have loved using this just to right on top of the cheekbone and in the inner corner highlight. Also a little bit on the either on the tops of like any eye look or to highlight the brow bone. Very, very gorgeous. There were a couple of times throughout the month that I wore a little bit more kind of like Asian inspired looks, so I did use it to highlight the tip of my nose and my nose bridge a little bit to get that sort of Asian highlight style, and I really like this shade for it. So I'm glad to be able to get uses out of this highlight and have it rolled out. So that means I have 5 products that are being rolled out, and the only one that's staying is my lip liner here. So I have 4 new cards to pull out and roll in. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna take the cards out. I am gonna shuffle this while I put the board up for you to review. I haven't really, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. It's the end of the day, y'all. But I haven't really looked at the board myself. Oops, so I am going to do that with y'all. I dropped a card, so I'm going to just shuffle this once more, and let's see how we, I was gonna say let's see how we do, but I dropped cards again. I really do need to get a card shuffler because I am terrible at this. Okay, so today I'm going to pull out my 4 cards first, and then I'm gonna go look at the prompt, go look in my collection, pick out the things, and then I'll come back with them, okay? So let's see. I have Ace of Hearts. All right, next. 10 of Spades. What is this? 7 of, no, what is it? 10 of Clubs, I mean. 7 of Spades. And then lastly, Jack of Diamonds. Okay, so I have 4 prompts pulled out. I'm gonna go look at my collection and everything, and I will be right back. Hey y'all, I looked at the game board, and the Ace of Heart is to pick up 2, so I'm back to pick up 2 more cards. So I'm gonna shuffle since I was off camera, just to ensure that and let y'all know that I was not cheating. Of course, I dropped another card. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Why do I choose to do this at the end of the day of a work day? Anyways, okay, so we're drawing 2. 2 of Hearts and 6 of Clubs. Okay, I have these 2. I'm gonna go look at the prompts and pick out my products. I will be right back. For real this time. All right, I am back and I have my products picked out. So, for the 10 of Clubs, which is the prompt Tourist, which is a foreign brand or brand inspired by a country I visited or wish to, I am gonna roll in my Gisu, I think that's what it's called, lip oil. This is a honey infused lip oil that I received in my Ipsy box, and I have not used this yet, and it's still in the box. So this one is in the shade Glazed Plum. I chose Gisu because it stands for woman hair in the Persian language, I believe, and this was founded by a Dutch Iranian influencer and also professional beekeeper. So I decided to roll this in for that because I actually am like a bee supporter. Like, I love bees. They're like the only insects out there that I can see a lot of and not freak out. So whenever I see them, and I've always wanted to go visit Europe, but I've never been to Europe before, but I would love to go to Amsterdam. And so I thought this one would be a good one to kind of cross off a lot of check boxes for me, you know, beekeeping, supporting a person who is passionate about that, and also someone who is kind of like, what is it, bicultural, I guess you would say. So yeah, this one is gonna be rolled in with the goal of 15 uses. This came in my April box, I believe, and so I'm going to get my first 15 uses with this product in this project. Next is the 7 of Spade, which means hit a pan, and that one is very self-explanatory. So I decided to go with my Essence Brow Lifting Gel Set product here. I have already been using this quite a lot. So as you can see, probably all these scratches. I was thinking about, should I hit a pan in like a blush, a bronzer, a highlight, or like another eyeshadow, but I feel like I have enough products and other projects already to hit pan on. So I decided to roll this one in to challenge myself to hit pan with this product. And I think it's going to be a really good challenge because a little bit goes a long way, but also I want to see how long it takes and how many more uses it takes to hit pan with this kind of product. I've already used this about 60 times already, and I feel like I've just been scratching at the surface of this product, so I'm excited to see how many times it's gonna take for me to hit pan on this. The third prompt is Jack of Diamonds, and it is Spotlight a Panner, which means reminds you of them, something they've panned or love, and I decided to spotlight Erin Taylor. I love her and her German Shepherds. I also love German Shepherds, and so whenever I see this name or the packaging of this product, it just reminds me of her, and I think it's because she has a lot from this brand as well, and it's Natasha Denona. So she probably doesn't have this product in her collection, but she has a lot of other Natasha Denona stuff, and I wanted to roll in something that I want to get use out of, but also again make it appropriate for the prompt, which is Erin Taylor. And so I decided to roll in this Natasha Denona Cupid Cheek Duo. This one is a cream highlight and a powder, no, not cream highlight, a cream blush and a powder highlight. And so I am going to roll this in with the goal of 10 uses for each shade. I think it's going to be fairly simple because I love my cream blushes. I can pair this one with my ABH cream blush in my project pan right now. And also the only highlighter that I've been really using a lot these days is my Magic City highlighter by Ofra in my Panda Face palette. So this one is going to be a really nice highlight as an add-on and just to kind of partner it up with that highlight. So I'm gonna roll this in and spotlight Aaron Taylor for that. The next prompt is 2 of Hearts, which is gifted. So a gift that you received, free gift with purchase or PR. And I have decided to roll in my e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balm in Peach. This one is going to have a goal of finish because I only have this much left. And this one was kind of handed down to me, but also gifted. I have a younger sister that gifted these to every single girl in the family, but I have a sister that doesn't like squeeze tubes like these, so she gave it to me. So kind of 2-in-1 sort of ordeal, and I've been really meaning to just get this done with, so I am rolling this in with a goal of finishing it. And lastly is the 6 of Clubs, which is the brand that you own the most from, and I would say that ColourPop is the brand that I own the most from. When I last checked and counted, when I was looking through my spreadsheets, I had like about 44 ColourPop items in my spreadsheet compared to the other brands that I thought I would have a lot more of. So I have decided to roll in all of my ColourPop lippy sticks that are still in my collection with a goal of using it 1 time each. And the reason why I am doing so is because I am moving and I am trying to see which ones of these I want to bring with me and which ones I want to declutter. So I think this prompt was kind of like a sign from above, kind of letting me know that, you know what, this is your reason and your excuse to really wear these lippy sticks again and just be able to get a final verdict and see which ones you'll keep in your collection and which ones you will declutter, kind of thing. So I have, I believe, 17, let's see, looks like I have 15 lippy sticks in this mug here, so I'll be using every single one of them or trying to use every single one of them. There's this one here called Trust Me, and it's like sunk, well, actually it's okay, like you can't roll it up or down anymore, so I'm probably gonna declutter this, but I'm going to try to get at least 1 use out of it before then. That is all I have for the deck of panning update. Let's move on to the no pan left behind. These 2 were the palettes that stayed in from the last update, and this one I only had the brown shades, I believe, to use up, and I did that. So I am rolling out this palette. Very, very beautiful. I actually really adore this palette, and it is so much fun to play around with the colors in this palette. I think it is just so refreshing. So I am really glad to be able to finally get some use out of this palette and put it back into my collection and pull it out when I'm feeling very festive and springy. The next one is the Violet Voss Sakura Blossom. This one is all completed as well. I have used every single one of these shades, and I love this palette for my pinky Asian inspired makeup looks. I just think this palette does such a good job with helping me achieve those looks. So I have completed so many looks with so many of these shimmers, mattes, and I am really glad to just finally be able to roll this out. I will again use it when there are cherry blossoms, or in my case, crabapple blossoms out and in season, to kind of wear something that will match those flowers and maybe even take like pictures outside. But until then, that is rolling out and going back into my collection. Next is my Ace Beauty Vintage Dawn. This one is such a beautiful palette. Like, do you see that? So beautiful. I really love this for like the fall season, but I also really have come to like this for all year round. And so I've created really nice looks with this, like more neutral brown leaning looks, yellow looks. I've done grungy looks, and I've also done kind of like a blue look with these 2 shades here yesterday. So I really like this palette still. The payoff is still really nice. I still really love the mattes. However, these shimmers are kind of stiff, so I have to go in a little bit harder and press in a little bit harder. But when I put it on the eyes, it's fine. So it's still good in my opinion, so I will keep this in my collection, but I'm gonna have to eventually get more use out of this before it needs to be retired. The next one is by Natasha Denona, and this is the 5-pan in the 5-pan eyeshadow peak. And this one I was able to get done in one look. Honestly, it was so simple and very gorgeous. Definitely a go-to palette for those days where I need something on the eyes, but I don't want to think about it. All these oh my gosh, all these looks, all these colors really do complement one another, and I'm excited to get this rolled out. I mean, I knew it was going to be an easy palette to get through, and so I'm glad to just be able to create a really nice look with that. Next is Violet Vase. This is the palette Violet Sunset, and I have created some, again, neutral brown leaning looks and also purpley pinkish looks with this palette. Still very good. This one really kind of gives me like summer into fall vibes, so definitely going to be a palette that I will probably reach for towards the end of summer when I still want that summer feel, but I'm, you know, getting myself ready for fall. And last but not least is my Ofra 5-pan palette in Symphony. This is so gorgeous. Really glad that this has been rolled in and used and loved. Gonna be rolled out, but I'm probably going to reach for this a little bit more when I'm feeling purpley, grungy. Really love the colors in here. And I don't know, it's just chef's kiss to me. It doesn't look as fun as some of these other palettes, right? But it just gives me the right kind of dramatic, professional look, if you know what I mean. So rolling this out, and I am happy about that. So I have all of my palettes rolled out, meaning I am rolling in 5 new palettes. And so let's do that right now. I am going to not screen share. I'm gonna screen record my spin wheel kind of stuff right now instead of showing you on screen because the light might reflect off my phone. So let's go into our eyeshadow palettes and let's roll in the first one. Okay, so Dose of Colors Sassy Sienna. This one has been one that I've really been wanting to really bring out and use. So I'm glad that that is the case here. Okay, let's roll another one. Oh my goodness, ColourPop So Elemental. I have been wanting to pull this one out as well. Let me just say this. I've been wanting to pull out all of my palettes, but I've been really saving it for this project. But you know, this is gonna be a nice refreshment. What is this? This is gonna be a nice refreshing palette for the days when I want to wear more cool tones. So let's roll another time. Okay, I already did peak, so I'm gonna hide that. And let's do it one more time. Oh, okay, so my Butter London Natural Goddess, I did not depot it. Did I depot it? Is that considered depotting? It is a, I did depot it. What am I saying? I did depot it, and it is in a magnetic eyeshadow palette now. So I will use it. Still, I could have just taken this palette out, but I forgot. So we're just gonna keep it in and use it still. Okay, next we have 2 more to go. I used the Rebel Honey already, so I'm going to roll another time. With this app, even if I do hide the slices that I already kind of rolled, it still shows up sometimes. So did I do the violets already? Let me see if I've done the violets already. Did I do the violets already? I don't think so. No. Okay. So I am going to roll in my Juvia's Place, the violets. I think that's gonna be so fun to play with, especially this time of year. And lastly, I forgot to hide that slice again. Oh my gosh. Bling Boss. Okay, did I already? I need to keep tabs on this because sometimes I can't remember. Okay. So we have the Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss as well. Okay, so let me go grab those palettes really quick and I will be right back to show you. All right, I am back and I'm gonna kind of rush through this because my husband is back home and we're gonna take our dog to a dog park. So I'm gonna rush through this a little bit just so that he doesn't have to wait for me for too long. So this is the first palette, which is the Dose of Color Sassy Sienna. It's an all matte palette. I really, really like this a lot. I think I'm gonna be able to get all of these shades done in one look, and then I might be able to throw on a ColourPop Super Shark Shadow on top, or just keep it as a matte look. So there's the first palette. The second one is the So Elemental. I have so much makeup in front of me right now. It's crazy. But this is the palette. Look at how nice this palette looks. It's very cool, very blue. This is gonna be really, really nice for those clear blue sky days and I want to just match my environment kind of thing. So this is gonna be really, really beautiful to put on the eyes. Next is my Butter Natural Goddess palette, and it is mixed in with my AOA single shadows, but it is these 6 shadows right here. These 2 last columns here. So I am going to use these 6 up and hopefully create 1 or 2 looks with them and get it done and used. I think in my spin wheel I have this as an actual palette to roll in, but since I rolled in that and I just decided to keep it in, I'm gonna do that. But next time if I do roll in the Magnetic Z palette, I'll probably do it again where I do No Pan Left Behind with all of the shades once again. So the 6 shades in these last 2 columns is Butter London Natural Goddess. And the next palette is from Juvia's Place, which is the Violet. This is how this palette looks like. Oh, look at that. That is just so gorgeous. So, so pretty, so beautiful. Love, love, love my purples, especially on the eyes. And so I'm going to probably pair this with other shadows and pigments and other projects. Last but not least is my Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palette in Bling Balls. This is also another purpley palette, and I am going to enjoy using this as well. I might pair it with the violets here to get some more colors out of each single one, not each single one, to get more use out of every single one of these shades. But yeah, I'm excited to play with some of these again. I have a lot of purple leaning palettes, so it's gonna help me be able to determine which kinds of purples I reach for more than the others, or most. It's the end of the day. Anyways, I am just excited to roll new palettes in and have so many rollouts. That is it from me today. Let me know what you think about the deck of panning and the No Pan Left Behind update. And if you're doing these projects, let me know how you're doing in the comment section below. I love hearing from you all. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.